Hey, hello, I'm Daniel, and I'm really glad you're here. I was sitting earlier just thinking about my phone. It's at 11% battery, and there's this little icon, it's red, and it's flashing, and my whole body reacts. I get a jolt of energy. I need to find a charger. I need to plug it in. This is an emergency. I'll move furniture. I'll search through bags. I'll borrow a stranger's cord. I've become a person on a mission. But then I thought, when was the last time I had that same urgent, mission-driven feeling about myself? When my own energy, my own motivation, my own spirit was down to 11%, did I scramble to find a charger? Or did I just sigh and keep scrolling through the low battery warning of my own life? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to stay positive and motivated. And I want to promise you something right at the start. We are not going to paint a smiley face on a storm cloud. That doesn't work. The cloud is still there, it's still dark, and now you just look a bit silly. This isn't about fake positivity. It's about real fuel. It's about finding your charger, and more importantly, learning how to build outlets for yourself everywhere you go. So, let's start with a feeling. A very common one. You wake up, the alarm goes off, and instead of jumping out of bed, you feel a weight, a sort of emotional gravity holding you to the mattress. The day ahead feels like a checklist written in a language you're too tired to read. Where does that come from? It's not laziness. Don't call it that. It's more like your brain is a brilliant, overworked project manager, and it's looking at the project plan for your life, and it's saying, okay, task 1, get up. Then task 2, face the thing you're worried about. Then task 3, interact with people. Then task 412, try to be happy while doing all this. And the brain just shorts out. It hits the snooze button on the whole system. That feeling is what we call a lack of motivation. It's not that you don't want anything. It's that the path from here to there seems shrouded in fog. And walking in fog is exhausting before you even take a step. Now, positivity. That's a tricky word. People hear positive and they think of a cheerleader, always yelling yay. Everything is great, but that's not it. Think of positivity not as a mood, but as a lens. A pair of glasses. When your lens is clean, you see clearly. You see a problem as a thing you can maybe solve or navigate or learn from. When the lens is dirty, smudged with fatigue and worry, everything looks blurry and threatening. A challenge looks like a catastrophe. A small setback looks like proof that you're a failure. Positivity is just the act of cleaning your lens. It's maintenance. It's not magic. So how do we do this? How do we clean the lens and give our overworked project manager brain a clearer map? Let's break it into 2 parts. The inner game and the outer game. The inner game is all about what happens inside your head. It's the conversation you're having with yourself from the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep. And for most of us, that conversation is not very kind. It's a critical, bossy, often mean voice. You should have done better. You're going to mess this up. Why can't you be like them? Imagine if you had a friend who followed you around all day and spoke to you like that. You'd leave them immediately. But we let this inner voice live rent-free in our heads. The first, most powerful step toward positivity and motivation is to change that voice. You don't have to make it a cheerleader overnight. Just turn it from a critic into a commentator, a neutral, kind observer. Instead of, you're going to mess up this presentation, try, okay, you're feeling nervous about this presentation. That's normal. You prepared. Let's just see how it goes. It sounds small. It feels silly at first, but it changes the chemical environment in your brain. It moves you from threat mode into observation mode. And from observation mode, you can actually think. You can't think clearly when you're under attack, even if the attacker is you. Here's a simple tool. I call it the button switch. We always say things like, I want to start exercising, but I'm too tired. That but erases everything before it. Try the and switch. I want to start exercising, and I'm really tired right now. Do you feel the difference? The first sentence is a dead end. The second is just stating two true facts. It leaves the door open. I'm tired and I want to get healthy. Now, you can problem solve. Okay, since I'm tired, maybe I'll just put on my shoes and walk for 5 minutes. Just 5. And accepts reality without surrendering to it. It's a tiny linguistic hack that builds a bridge over the canyon of but. Now, let's talk about motivation. We think motivation is the spark that starts the fire. We wait for it. We say, I'll do it when I feel motivated. That's like waiting for a match to spontaneously combust in your pocket. It's backwards. Action isn't the result of motivation. Action is the cause of it. You have to prime the pump. Think about Newton's first law. An object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion. You're that object. The hardest part is going from rest to motion. From the couch to standing up. From the blank page to writing the first word. So, you have to trick yourself. You make the first action so stupidly small that it's impossible to say no. Don't say, I need to clean the whole house. That's overwhelming. Say, I will go and put one dish in the dishwasher. Just one. Often, once you do that one tiny thing, the motion starts. You put in one dish, you see another, and before you know it, you've loaded the whole rack. You've overcome the inertia. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Don't wait to feel motivated to start. Start, and then you will feel motivated to continue. This connects to something the ancient Stoic philosophers talked about a lot. Focus on what you can control. Your effort, your attitude, your response. Not the outcome, not other people's opinions, not the weather. When you tie your motivation to things you can't control, like getting a certain grade or a specific person liking you, you build your house on sand. One bad wave and it's gone. But if you tie your motivation to your own effort, to showing up, to doing your best version of the work, then you build on rock. The result might not be perfect, but you can always control the effort. You can always control showing up. That's a renewable source of fuel. You never run out of your own will to try. Let me give you a real, simple example. Let's say you have a job you don't love. The fog is thick. You dread going in. You can't control the job market today. You can't control your boss's mood. What can you control? You can control how you enter the building. You can decide to say good morning to one person. You can control doing one task to the best of your ability. You can control taking a proper 5-minute break to just breathe. That's it. That's your list. Your motivation for the day is not be happy at this job. It's do these 3 small things with intention. That is achievable. That is clean burning fuel. And from that small control burn, bigger fires can start. Maybe that good morning leads to a conversation. Maybe doing that one task will gets noticed. Maybe that 5-minute break gives you an idea. You're planting seeds, not trying to grow a forest overnight. This is where psychology meets daily life. We have a thing in our brains called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's like a filter. It decides what, out of the millions of bits of information around us, to pay attention to. And it's programmed by what you focus on. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, on what's scary, on what you lack, your RAS says, my human wants more of that. And it will highlight all the evidence in the world that things are wrong, scary, and lacking. It will make you see the red lights, the rude people, the missed opportunities. But if you consciously, deliberately start to focus on small things that are okay, the taste of your coffee, the color of the sky, a completed task, you start to reprogram the filter. You tell your RAS, show me more of this. And slowly it does. It's not denying the bad stuff exists. It's just choosing to also see the other stuff that was always there. You're not changing the world. You're changing your search function. And what you search for, you will find. So, we've talked about the inner voice, about starting tiny, about focusing on control. This is the inner game. It's the software update for your mind. But we also live in bodies, in spaces, in routines. That's the outer game. And the outer game is just as important. You cannot have a positive mind in a chaotic, draining environment. It's like trying to keep a candle lit in a hurricane. Look at your physical space. I'm not saying you need a perfect, minimalist apartment. I'm saying, is there one corner that feels like yours? Is your bed made? Making your bed is a classic piece of advice because it's a tiny, completed task that you do first thing. It sets a tone of order. It's a win before 8 a.m. Look at your body. Not in a judgmental, you need to look different way, but in a this is my vehicle way. Did you move it today? Even for 5 minutes? Movement isn't just for fitness. It's a signal to your brain. It says, we are alive. We are capable. We are in motion. It burns off the nervous energy that otherwise turns into anxiety and saps motivation. And then there's the people. The outer game includes your circle. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Have you heard that? It's powerful. Not because you should ditch your friends, but because you need to be aware of the emotional weather they bring. Some people are like sunshine. You feel warmer, brighter, more energized after talking to them. Others are like drains. You feel your energy, your ideas, your hope just swirling away. You don't have to cut anyone out, but you must be strategic. Spend more time with the sunshine people. Limit your exposure to the drains. And most importantly, ask yourself, which one am I for others? Working on being a source of sunshine for yourself will naturally make you one for others. It's a beautiful cycle. Let's get practical for a moment. A day in the life of someone building positivity and motivation. It doesn't start at sunrise with a cold plunge and a green smoothie. It starts the night before. You think about one small thing you want to accomplish tomorrow, not 10 things. 1. Write it down. Tomorrow, I will call and make that dentist appointment I've been avoiding. That's it. Then you go to sleep knowing you have a clear, small mission for tomorrow. You wake up. You don't grab your phone. That's the biggest hack of all. The first 30 minutes of your day should not be a flood of other people's agendas, bad news, and social comparisons. Just don't. Instead, you make your bed. You drink a glass of water. You look out the window and name one thing you see. A tree. You say your end statement. I feel tired, and I am capable of having a decent day. You have already won several small victories. You have taken control. You go about your day. When the fog of overwhelm comes, you ask, what is the next tiny physical step? Not solve my career. The next step, update my resume. Too big. Open my laptop. There it is. Open the laptop. Then open the document. One physical, tiny step at a time. You're a robot following simple programming. It bypasses the emotional resistance. When the inner critic pipes up, you don't argue. You just notice it. Oh, there's the critic again. Hello. Thanks for your concern. And you gently return to your tiny next step. You are not fighting the darkness. You're simply lighting a very small candle. And then another, and another. At the end of the day, you do a thing called a completion ritual. You look back, not to judge, but to collect evidence. You say, what did I complete today? Now what did I do? What did I finish? It could be that dentist call. It could be sending an email. It could be finally fixing that wobbly table leg. You write down 3 completions. This is crucial. Our brains are wired to remember the unfinished, the unresolved, the Zeigarnik effect. It's why that unresolved argument or unfinished project nags at you. By consciously noting what you did finish, you close the loops. You tell your brain, it's safe to relax now. We made progress. This builds a sense of momentum, of competence. And competence is a direct feeder of motivation. When you feel good at something, you want to do more of it. This isn't a one-day transformation. This is the slow art of becoming your own ally. It's building a friendship with yourself. You wouldn't scream at a friend for being tired. You'd make them tea. You wouldn't call a friend a failure for missing one deadline. You'd tell them it's okay and to try again tomorrow. You wouldn't abandon a friend because they're in a fog. You'd take their hand and say, let's walk through this together, one small step at a time. So, this is the invitation. Stop waiting for the spark. Start with the smallest possible action. Stop listening to the critic. Start talking like a kind commentator. Stop focusing on the uncontrollable storm. Start building a solid, tiny shelter in the things you can control. Clean your lens, one gentle wipe at a time. You're not a machine to be optimized. You are a garden. Some days are sunny, some days it pours rain. The work is not to control the weather. The work is to tend the soil, to pull the weeds of negative self-talk, to plant the seeds of tiny actions, to water it with completions and kindness, and then to be patient. Growth happens underground, in the dark, before you ever see the green shoot break the surface. Your motivation, your positivity is already in there. It's not something you need to get from the outside world. It's the seed in your core. You just have to stop pouring concrete over it and start giving it a little light, a little water, a little space. Start today, not with a revolution, with a single, quiet, determined whisper to yourself. Okay, let's begin. What's the one tiny thing? And then go do that thing and see how you feel. I think you might be surprised. The journey of 1,000 miles begins not with a leap, but with the decision to tie your shoelaces. So go on, tie your laces. The path is waiting. Okay, bye, see you soon.